an der Glasfachschule Rheinbach. Ich bin Estelle.
Ich bin Tobi.
Also hier sind echt sehr coole Leute. Also jeder hier ist individuell.
Rheinbach war natürlich ja, mit doch die beste Zeit, die ich bis jetzt auch im Berufsleben quasi hatte.
Willkommen an der Glasfachschule des Landes Nordrhein-Westfalen in Rheinbach. Seit vielen Jahren sind wir Europaschule und bieten unseren Schülerinnen und Schülern vielfältige Möglichkeiten, ins Ausland zu gehen, Fremdsprachen zu lernen, Erfahrungen fürs Leben zu sammeln. Nutzen auch Sie, liebe Schülerinnen und Schüler, diese Chance, gehen Sie ins Ausland und machen Sie dort ein Praktikum. Ich freue mich, dass wir einen neuen Auslandskontakt aufbauen konnten, und zwar im Nordosten Europas. Unser EU-Botschafter Manfred Krieger war in Tallinn und hat für uns Kontakte geknüpft nach Estland. Die Handelskammer des Baltikums ist unser Partner dort und wir haben ganz viele neue Praktikumsbetriebe für Sie an Land ziehen können. Bitte nutzen Sie die Chance, machen Sie das Praktikum und nehmen Sie diese Erfahrung mit. Viel Spaß dort. Welcome to Estonia.
Estland. Wo ist eigentlich Estland? Estland befindet sich im Norden Europas und grenzt im Süden an Lettland, im Osten an Russland. Im Norden sowie im Westen grenzt Estland an die Ostsee. In Estland leben etwa 1,3 Millionen Menschen. Etwa 430.000 davon befinden sich in Estlands Hauptstadt Tallinn. Etwa 98% des Landes hat Zugriff auf eine Internetverbindung von 4G. Estland ist damit ein großer Vorreiter im Thema Digitalisierung.
Hallo, mein Name ist Manfred Krieger. Ich bin einer der EU-Trainer am staatlichen Berufskolleg Rheinbach und ich bin zuständig für Barcelona und im nächsten Jahr auch Estland. Wir sind gerade dabei, eine Partnerschaft mit Estland aufzubauen. Unsere Partnerinstitution ist die Deutsch-Baltische Handelskammer in Tallinn. Und die Projektleiterin hier in Estland, Karin Wohleit, werden Sie auch gleich in einem der Interviews sehen, die wir gemacht haben. Ja, wie Sie ja alle bereits wissen, gehört zu Ihrer Ausbildung in unserem Berufskolleg ein 8-wöchiges Praktikum, das man in Deutschland, aber auch im europäischen Ausland machen kann. Und solche Auslandspraktika innerhalb der EU werden natürlich durch das Erasmus-Plus-Programm der Europäischen Union gefördert. Unser erster Austausch mit Estland ist terminiert für Sommer 2022 und Sie können sich ab sofort bewerben um die Teilnahme an dem Projekt und mir die Bewerbungen zukommen lassen. Estland ist der östlichste Staat in der Europäischen Union und bildet zusammen mit Lettland und Litauen das Baltikum. Und wir werden innerhalb dieses Promotion-Videos noch einige Locations in Estland sehen. Also machen wir uns auf die Reise und beginnen mit dem ersten Interview beim estnischen Fernsehen, danach eine Werbeagentur, eine PR-Agentur. Und ja, das war's. Ja, besten Dank, viel Spaß bei der Sichtung dieses Videos und ich hoffe auf zahlreiche Bewerbungen. Hello everybody, it's nice to be here at the Chamber of Commerce, German Baltic Chamber of Commerce. And I'm happy to introduce Karen and Anna to our target group. And of course they will do that themselves. And I think I should start with Karen. Karen, would you be so kind as to introduce yourself and say some words about the German Baltic Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, hello to everybody. My name is Karen Moolaid, and I've been working with German Baltic Chamber of Commerce for 3.5 years now. And I'm working here as an advisor and representative of Schleswig-Holstein Bureau and German Trade and Invest. And also I'm organizing a different very big project like Export Initiative, Energy, and some other project with Germany. And also my specialty is organizing business trip for business people from the Baltics to Germany to get business relations and to visit different companies and get to knowledge about German business industry, about 4.0 industry. They're all very important topics and important issues what brings our people to Germany, and it's also important for the knowledge transfer between business people in Germany and Estonia and in the Baltics. And because of the COVID-19 situation, we were not able to do those trips, but we hope that in the future we can continue organizing those trips, and our people are also very much waiting for that and calling and asking us that when it will happen again. And yes, we also hope that the normal life will come back. But still, I mean, also in this COVID-19 time, we have got a lot of calls and from business people that they would like to get business relations between Germany and Baltics, and we have organized different programs for them, and so there is always businesses going on even in the hard times. So we're happy about it. So that's why we're here, working here.
Well, Karen, as you told me before, you were in marketing connections before. And so next question would be, if Estonia were a product, what positive properties would you name?
Yeah, if Estonia were a product, so of course, first of all, I would like to say that you can order it from internet, because internet is a big issue here, and internet, and then it could be like a 3D virtual reality thing, Estonia. Why not? And if you would like to consume this product, then you can design it also by yourself. Okay, so you can be part of the designing process. So it's like, because we are an innovative country and we're small and our people are hardworking, and also we are flexible. That means you can really start a company here very quickly, and you can get the citizen here very quickly. So everything goes very quickly, and we're very flexible.
Well, thinking a little bit of myself, I'm here in Estonia for the second time now, and I do not yet know too many Estonians. Two are here in this room. The audience can see only one, because the other one is behind the camera. So a useful question would be, what is typically Estonian for Estonia and Estonians?
Yeah, this is a good question, and we have been asking these questions many times, and we have also thinking about it. So, but first I would like to name saunas. Okay, we can argue that this is also a Finnish thing, but Estonians also, it's very typical. We like saunas. There are a lot of saunas, many summer cottages with saunas, and this is one thing we could say. Then the second day is wild nature. It's also interesting that Estonians organize everything in the wild nature, like barbecues, like parties, like song festivals, also like theater. So everything is in that. There are a lot of nice wild nature outside the city. It's really, within a half hour you can already get there. So it's very easy to get to the very nice hiking roads. And that's why Estonia is also very, very famous, and it's a really nice preserved nature here. So that's what we also Estonians are really proud of. We could name cross-country skiing, what we're doing this sports, also in the wild nature. Yeah.
I love that.
Yes, you should come here in the winter, so we can do cross-country skiing.
Good.
And also what is very well developed in Estonia is, it's connected with this wild nature, it's tourism, and it's tourism in Estonia. Yeah. There are a lot of nice tourist houses, spas, saunas, so you can really, there is so interesting thing to visit inside Estonia, what you can not get maybe in a country like Germany or Netherlands. I had some friends also from Netherlands, for example, who moved to Estonia. Why? Because the wild nature. They just moved here because they wanted to bought a house here, and they lived in the middle of wild nature, and they really loved it.
In which areas do you see Estonia as exemplary? For example, education, media, tourism you already mentioned. Yeah.
Yes, tourism I already mentioned, but also I definitely would like to mention digitalization. We will talk about it more also later, but also e-governance. What is Estonia famous for in the whole world? It's because of e-governance. So we also have all these e-governance things digital, so we do everything digitally, and we have in Estonia e-governance academy. This is an institution whose people go and teach the countries all over the world, globally, about e-governance, how to digitalize the governmental processes. So, and this is all the other countries, they would like to learn that, and then Estonia can really transfer the knowledge in this area. So this is something Estonia is proud of. And also the school system, e-school, and the PISA test results. Estonia among top in the Europe and also in the whole world. So this is what we're proud of.
Very impressive.
Yes.
I think Barack Obama already mentioned Estonia as exemplary, and one of our ministers, I don't remember who it was, very good.
Yeah, we got a lot of also state visits here, all about to learn about e-governance. Even our German political chamber before Corona time, we got one of my colleagues, David, organizing for German delegations a lot of visits, and they all would like to learn about e-governance. This is the most popular topic.
Where do you personally see Estonia in 10 years?
Yeah, in 10 years, it's a long period. Yes. What I should say, I think that Estonia in 10 years will be more European. What does it mean actually? There will be more foreign people here from different nationalities, because I think we will have a lack of workforce here among Estonians, and then we have to bring more foreign people here to study, to learn, so Estonia will be more international, I'm sure about it. And then what else? I think that the railway, Rail Baltic, will be ready in 10 years, and then what means that we can catch to Berlin, the capital city of Germany. And then I think that the other thing also will be ready. This is an underground tunnel between Tallinn and Helsinki, so you can catch the Finnish capital within half hour.
Good.
Through underwater tunnel. So this is something very interesting project.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
the big projects, what are on the table, and there is discussion about when it will be ready and if it's possible. Rail Baltic will be ready. The underground tunnel is a little bit under discussion, but we hope the best. So that there will so innovative things in Estonia can be ready. And then we also hope that, or I hope that the wild nature is still preserved, and we have so rare animals here. We can keep those rare animals like bears, wolves, lynx in our forests. Estonia is a very top wild nature tourism destination also in the future, so we can keep this.
Already a wide range of aspects you've covered.
Hello, my name is Ella Cicic, and I'm intern here in the German Baltic Chamber of Commerce. I'm helping my colleagues with everything where I can. It can be from researching something or translating something, also helping with the trips, but due to COVID, that's not a thing we do right now here. But yeah.
Has come to a halt for a time.
Unfortunately,
yes. Okay. Do you see a need for exchange programs with Germany based on the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I would say yes. We already have some exchange programs, and I'm here based on the exchange program Erasmus Plus.
Yeah.
But still, when I, for example, told my parents, my friends, everyone in Germany I know that I'm going to do an internship in Estonia, they were like, where is Estonia again? what's important or special about Estonia, and I had to try to talk to them, to, I don't know, present them Estonia, and yeah, so I think it would be very good, and also for Germans and also Estonians, if there would be more projects going on. And yeah, because I think we tend in the Western world and Germany to kind of forget about the small country, but I think it's a very special country, and yeah.
What makes Estonia particularly attractive for young people in general?
Oh, that's also a very tough and interesting question, because Estonia varies in a lot of aspects, and I think it's very interesting to young people in a lot of aspects. For example, regarding the digitalization system. I've never experienced something like that in my whole life. I mean, in Germany, it's impossible to think about a system where everything is working from the internet. So, for example, taxes or starting a company or everything else, you can do that at home on your sofa. And that's very attractive for young people, because you don't have the bureaucratic barriers here. Also, the country is very transparent, so you know when you're trying to apply somewhere, for example, a job, an internship, or anything else. It's very transparent. You know what they want from you, but you know also that you can offer that to them. Of course, regarding the political system, it's very safe here, and also a lot of people are welcome. So regarding, I don't know, it doesn't matter what race you are, what color your skin has, or what religious, or if you're gay or not, you're welcome here. Estonians are very welcome. They want you here. The team is also very international, so I think that's very attractive to young people to come here to learn stuff. And in my experience, I've never experienced something like this here, and I think going back to Germany, I can take that experience in my further life. So I will never forget about these chances I got here, especially in regard to the digitalization of stuff. And yeah, that's why you should come and work in Estonia.
Hello, Carly. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for your time you're spending for us right now. And yes, before we come to the questions as such, I'd like you to introduce yourself and your PR agency.
Hi, I'm Karoli Noor, and I'm a consultant here in the PR Partner. We are a boutique strategic communication bureau, so we do strategic communication, and in Estonia we are mainly known as experts in crisis communication. So crisis communication is definitely something that many clients turn to us, and yeah, we have a very versatile client base, anything from non-profit organizations to huge international corporations, but yeah, this is kind of what we do here.
Very interesting. Now let us come to the questions. First question is, how would you describe modern public relations and advertising in Estonia?
Public relations and advertising are definitely becoming more intertwined, coming closer together. For example, stuff like content marketing can be used as both advertising or PR. And in Estonia we have quite a small media landscape, which means that we don't have many specialized channels, which has definitely helped content marketing become much more popular. Advertising and PR are intertwining and coming like one, so it's harder and harder to tell the difference, but I think it's also not just a challenge, but definitely an opportunity to grow as a PR professional, you know, learn the tricks of advertising, use them in PR, and combine those two.
Could you mention some more activities and say one or two sentences about them?
Well, we are a strategic communication bureau, which means that we do whatever is necessary for the client to achieve its business goals. So we create media plans for them, we bring them to life, which means that we handle media relations, more and more influencer relations, content creation for different channels, involved, like anything you can imagine that people in PR would do, we do it. So it's quite a versatile job.
What skills would a candidate need to be able to work for you?
A PR professional needs to be definitely analytical, have the skills to go through data, to draw conclusions and present them. They need to have like quite broad horizons and an open mind. But in general, whatever skills you have, you can develop them as a PR professional. For example, if you love photography, you can do that. If you love visual design, you can do that. If you love writing texts, you can do that. So I think being a PR professional means that you need to develop yourself constantly and find the way that you want to take, and then just walk back.
Sounds very good. What program knowledge or software knowledge does a candidate have to have in your agency to be successful?
I don't really think that you need to have like a specific program knowledge. You need to be open to new challenges. You need to be open to test out different programs, different ways of communication. So, but definitely being able to use like visual design programs or photo editing software is a plus.
Which professions are currently particularly popular in your industry?
In Estonia, it's often so that there is like a one PR professional in a company, and they need to do everything. So they need to be very multifunctional, be able to create content for social media, handle media relations, manage strategic planning and measurement. So I think the more versatile you are, the more successful you are in...
Hello Silvia, we are very happy to be here in your agency, and thank you for having a little time for us. I know that you always work under great pressure, but luckily here we are. Please introduce yourself as an employee of your advertising agency.
Yes, I'm Silva. I'm the creative director of Zavod Advertising, and I have been in this company almost 20 years now. And maybe one reason why I have stayed so long is that actually the company itself is really fast-moving, fast-paced, and there is a lot of things going on. So normally where people, when they change their companies because they get tired in one place and seek for new things, then in our company actually it's changing so fast that you don't get bored.
Yes, now a very difficult question. How would you describe modern advertising in Estonia?
I think that modern advertising is pretty much the same as advertising in all the countries in the world. Of course, there is some impact on the market size, but as the marketing and advertising is actually following the trends of what's happening in the world, and most of things are happening in the social media or online, so it's pretty same everywhere. So I would say that we follow the trends pretty well. So maybe we are a few years back behind what's happening in New York or London or this kind of big centers. But I would say it's pretty much following the trends. And of course social media is one topic that has gained much more impact over the years. We do a lot of digital, but I would say that old school disciplines are not went away anywhere. So we are still doing print, we are still doing TV ads, we are still doing point of sales, so you name it, whatever has been around.
Whole range of advertising activities. Please use a product example to describe the workflow for the production of an advertisement in the media.
Yes, let's assume that you have come up with some new product. Let's say you're some starting enterprise, and you have, let's say, a new bike or a new scooter that's really trending. We have many scooter companies in Estonia, and let's say you have it ready. Then first you have to choose the agency. Then you visit different agencies. You pick one that suits you most. And then you, of course, have to brief the agency, give the overview of what you're doing, why your product is better than the others, who's your target group mainly. We are very specific about not only how old people are targeting, but actually what they like to do and how they think. And you can name very similar products to very different target groups in this way. And of course, then we establish the creative idea based on our creative strategy always. Then we present you a few campaign ideas. Usually they are presented in very short format. Let's say a few execution ideas, maybe a TV or maybe social media posts ideas. But the most important thing in this phase is to pinpoint out or agree on which is the creative idea behind the campaign. And then when we have established that one, then we work together with you as a client to actually make it happen over different media channels that you have decided to pick. And what we are suggesting with the help of our media partner, and also I think that a lot of PR is going on. Well, not a lot of, but definitely PR has its own value. And this is where we present you the different creative, now almost final creative executions based on the media channels. And finally, when you agree with everything, then we can start the campaign. But also what we do is, and what is very good in digital age, that we can monitor the process, how it goes, how people are clicking, maybe run some A/B testings and so on. And finally we are optimizing the campaign all the time. So yeah, maybe we can come up with some follow-ups and always check the outcome in the end and make some suggestions based on that and so on. Because we want the client to come back, and so we of course offer some insights.
So, yes, now we are coming a little bit to the target group we stand for here today. Our young people, our students. The question is, what skills would a designer need to be able to work for you?
I would say that thinking skills are most important, because well, it's hard to be a designer if you can't handle a pencil, but it's doable. But if you can think creatively and if you can't analyze, then you can't be a designer.
I see.
So these kind of problem solving, flexibility, and these kind of things are most important, I would say, on the skill set. Because all the computer programs, you can study them. Because if you have entered to the school already, then most probably you are capable to learn some programs in your life. But thinking is, critical thinking is something that definitely you need.
Take that back home. What program or software knowledge does a designer in your agency have to master?
We're usually using mostly Adobe products, so depending on which type of designer you are, but the basics are, I would say that Adobe Photoshop, of course, then Illustrator. If you are a desktop designer, then quite possibly the InDesign. If you are a web designer, then Adobe XD. If you are a motion designer, then After Effects and Premiere. But we have had designers who are using a variable of other tools, and because whatever is best for the work. So yeah, but I would say that Adobe mainly, but you can always bring your variations with you.
Which professions are currently particularly popular in your industry?
Well, you have to see what's popular anyway. So social media is popular. So social media managers, a lot of them. People want to become social media content creators, which means copywriters or designers in other terms. But it's social media is demanding some kind of hybrid skills. So that, in the old times, copywriter wrote some text, designer made some designs, and then they met together one day and they maybe put them together. Then social media content creator has to see the whole picture all the time and understand how. Because it's so fast process in there. So I would say that social media topics are definitely hot. I think that we had quite a lot of applications. So when we searched for a project manager, and a lot of applications were outside of advertising. So you would say that the advertising is popular in general. But within the industry, yes, I would say that all those social media things.
As key idea or keyword, okay.
But in general terms, I wouldn't highlight anything particularly. Because advertising agencies need all those positions filled, and people are coming to all positions. So
everything counts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Kristen, I'm happy to be here today to talk to you and for the time you've reserved for us. And I've prepared some questions I'd like to ask you. Please introduce yourself as an employee of Estonian Public Broadcasting.
My name is Kristel Maran. I have worked here in the Estonian Public Broadcasting for 20 years this summer. I started actually with the Eurovision Song Contest when Estonia won in 2001, and Estonia organized the contest here in 2002. Then I was part of the organizing group. Afterwards, I was over 15 years in the marketing department, first of Estonian Television, then in 2007 Estonian Television and Radio merged and became the Estonian Public Broadcasting. And for the last 3 years, I have been the advisor to the management board and the head of training and personnel development. And I also do some international relations.
Well, next question is, what does modern television look like in Estonia?
We are a public broadcaster. We cannot maybe be too modern, but still I think we are trying to get the best practice from everywhere and then implement it in our television, because we don't have the luxury to try everything, because it's a small country, a small company compared to other broadcasters, especially in other European countries, and we just have to be very smart. But modern television, when we talk about public broadcasting in general, I think we are a very modern company because we have very strong internet, and it's growing the fastest in Estonia, our online services, and it's really good. When talking about television in general in Estonia, the public broadcaster has its best time. Unfortunately, the private channels, the two main ones, have not that high audience. Within my 20 years here, it has been a lot lower for us, and they have had much better times. Now it's our great time, the Estonian Public Broadcasting and Estonian Television, ETV mainly. But then again, for one country, it is probably good to have a balanced and strong competition in the market. Not because we can really be happy about our results now, but maybe in a long perspective it would be good to have also a bit stronger private channels.
Next question. What trends do you see in other media in Estonia? Books, newspapers, magazines, the internet?
First, about books. There are lots of books published, probably everywhere. I think everyone can be a writer these days. But I don't think they sell that high volumes anymore, but still Estonians are book lovers.
Are they?
I think they are.
Ah,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Newspapers and magazines, the paper versions, of course, are slowly going down, the numbers. I can see a strong future for the very targeted, very nuanced media. Maybe going deeper to one topic. Probably the women's magazine sell very well, and the family topics. But internet is definitely growing. We have strong internet portals, 2 main ones, also Estonian public broadcasting ones, but we are not competing, for example, in entertainment. We don't have the sort of yellow news. But for young people, of course, the overall social media, it's not only the Estonian market, it's the same as everywhere. One funny thing is that Twitter is not that big in Estonia when we talk about social media. I think it's more for politicians, journalists, but the amount of people using Twitter here is marginal.
Oh, interesting. Which media skills should young people bring with them if they want to shape the media?
If you want to shape the media, it's not about only the skills, it's about your energy. Based on my experience, all the young people already have the skills, or they can really easily acquire the skills. But what you need is you have to be able to sell yourself. You have to be able to sell your ideas. You have to be strong. I think this is even more important if you want to shape or change something instead of technical skills, which are easily teachable. And for maybe people like us or you have to see where is one's talent. You have to pick the talent.
Yeah. That is true.
And develop it.
Yeah.
Everyone is not talented in the same area, but if you really see that maybe one person is really good at camera work, then you have to really develop this talent in him. And if you get the very talented people work for their field, I think this will shape the future in the end. And we add cooperation skills and communication skills to that.
You mean teamwork?
Teamwork, yes.
Your answer reminds me a little bit of Arthur Miller's drama, Death of a Salesman. And somebody in the play asked, what is the secret of success? And you said it, to sell oneself. Could you maybe spontaneously say what is necessary to sell oneself?
You have to believe in yourself and you have to believe in your idea.
Good.
I don't like the word selling, especially here. We never use it because in Estonia we don't have advertising in public broadcasting at all, because it's directly financed from the state budget, but we're still public broadcasting. So we are independent. So we have nothing to do with selling ourselves here.
I see.
But everyone has to be, you have to have shining eyes and you have to be really good, I think. Especially, well, you have to shape or change the television, and this is a field where you have people who have worked here 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, and they have already their way of working. So if they enter this organization, it's not that easy to change things.
I do think it isn't, yeah. Very interesting, very interesting. How do you see the future of television?
Good question. I think everyone's guess is as good as mine. But I think I don't see, and also the numbers confirm that they have always said that television will change, or it will not, the linear television will not be, but it's still here and it's still so strong. So I don't think it will disappear anywhere in the near future. But there will be different forms of, even more different forms of watching it. Different platforms, time-wise, different catch-up versions. You have so many options and everyone will choose their own.
Yeah, that is important. we could easily slip into politics, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and well, for technical part of this is always developing. Definitely, the picture will become better and better and better.
Yeah.
TV sets become cheaper and cheaper, so people will have a better and better experience of television at home.
Yeah,
not only television, also movies.
Yeah. Okay.
So I doubt it will disappear anywhere soon.
Yeah. Now we can turn the tables a little bit with the next question. What is your image of Germany today?
Germany is a very big country. Estonia has in history had a strong relation to Germany. I think Germany has influenced us a lot. I personally see also Germany as the biggest player in the European Union, which it is, obviously. A very strong country, I would say rich country. I think the understanding here is like that. Germany is definitely big enough. Well, it has many different parts. The north and south are probably different, you know.
Oh, yes, indeed, they are. Totally different people. Yeah.
I've been there a couple of times, but not that much to see the whole picture yet.
This is what I discuss very often with my Estonian friend Diana. You see, what is the truth and what role do the media play? And what I teach my students is, look, only 2% of what you think the reality is goes back to your own experience. 98% come from the media, you see. And yeah, that is very interesting. We have wonderful discussions about that topic at school. Now we are coming to the last question, and well, maybe even the main reason for my being here in Estonia these days. Do you see a need for exchange programs with Germany based on the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union?
I can actually answer it just with one sentence. I'm totally in favor of all kinds of exchange program, of international cooperation. I think it's useful for every side.
It is. I can only agree, Crystal. Hello, Maria.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to be here, to meet you and to talk to you now about some interesting aspects related to our project based on the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union. And I think it would be nice if you introduced yourself first and also your institute you work for.
So my name is Maria Aasma. I was born in Tallinn. I've lived in Tallinn all my life. I'm a very regular Estonian. I've graduated from Tartu University, where I studied at the history department. My major was art history and also ethnology. And my professional background is almost 13 years in higher education, internationalization, with also dealing Erasmus program. And for a year and a half, I've been working for the Integration Foundation. And there I do consultations about settling in Estonia and also how to learn Estonian language. And our target group is mostly, well, they are people who are residents here, but of other nations, and also new settlers. The Integration Foundation also helps to provide services and support for returners, and we also try to involve Estonians globally and to be kind of the link to their homeland.
Well, first real question would be, what role does English play in Estonia?
I think English language is something very widely known and used in Estonia. Nowadays it's becoming more and more common that people know English. There was recently a survey of integration and how also the languages are playing a role in Estonian society. And it came out that almost half
of Estonians speak English.
Oh,
And the percentage of English speakers is higher among Estonians than among other nations, like Russians living in Estonia. It used to be, because of our Soviet background, we had Russian language as one of the main foreign languages, but this has changed, and now the new generations are not speaking Russian so well anymore, but they know English.
I see.
And as Estonian language, I mean that the number of speakers is about 1 million, then it's quite a small language group, and we like professionally have to speak other languages, to read professional literature, to even watch films. It's never synchronized, it's always with subtitles, so it all helps to get to know the language. And I think children nowadays, as they play video games, they watch YouTube, then even like in elementary school they already know English quite well. And it's also that when children go to school, like we have this system that it's first kindergarten, then preschool, and at the age 7 they start elementary school. Then already it depends, but in most of the schools within like at least 4 years they start learning one foreign language and then also the other. So, and English is one of the most common, the A languages which they take as a foreign language. And it's English, Russian, German, French that usually are among these A and B foreign languages. Nowadays, still English is most popular, and I think German is also quite popular, and Russian not so much anymore. I think the geographical location and the fact that we are a small country makes it really important to know foreign languages, and most Estonians have, I mean not most, but it's, let's say, when people are with university degree, they know at least 2 foreign languages. And it's common to know also Finnish, because we are neighbors, especially in northern Estonia. And yes, then besides German, French and Russian.
Quite a wide range. Good. What does, difficult word, digitalization look like in the Estonian education system?
Well, it's something that has become really a new normality when the COVID times began. However, Estonian educational system had a lot of digital programs and methods used already before. I think it was in 2018 when out of about 500 schools, 100 schools used digital programs in their everyday work. So it was very common already before. And of course, nowadays it has been a bit easier to move to this digital studying, as it was just needed because it was the restrictions and basically the lockdown period for school children was perhaps not so, I mean, it was difficult in a way that when the digital means took over like the real life situations, but still I think most of the teachers already had some knowledge about it. So it's a big field, and I think it's constantly developed further as it has proven to be a new necessity, and people are also very much used to having digital platforms. All the materials are digitalized, and the school books and so on. So there are several platforms which are used on the, I mean, they are like acknowledged by the ministry, and then the schools are encouraged to widely use them in their everyday work.
Sounds good. Okay, now, does German play a role in Estonia?
I could say that it's a big role, of course, historically, and also today, being part of the European Union, we still have a lot of links to Germany, and especially if you want to make a career, for example, in foreign relations or in trade, then German language knowledge is really an advantage. There are about, I think, 50 schools which have German language as an A language. So it's one of the languages really taught in Estonian schools for children and also in universities. As much of our science background is, I mean, historically it's a lot of connections with German and the Baltic German tradition with universities, then these archives, for example, and historical materials are in quite big percentage. It's in German language. So in some fields you can't avoid knowing German. For example, I studied history and I had German language already in high school, but then also I studied it further in university. I must admit it's quite passive knowledge, so I can read with dictionaries, but it's not so much interaction. So it's been it's played a big part, and I think it's still, it has its strong position. It's not so wide that you're on the street people just speak fluently. I think there are just not so close connections anymore. I mean, we are not neighbors. Maybe this is one of the things.
Could be, yes.
So
okay, now last question: do you see a need for exchange programs with Germany based on the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union?
Yes, of course. And when I worked at the Arts Academy, we had very active Erasmus cooperation with Germany. And I think overall in Estonian universities, within Erasmus program, one of the biggest groups is German students coming to Estonia, and also vice versa. I think it's a big percentage of German universities being as partners, and of course it also is for the Erasmus practice or the placements. It's also that Germany is a very important partner. And I think that will continue because Germany is a big country and there is a big variety of universities. So Estonia is certainly very much interested, and I hope it's also vice versa. Maybe it's the cultural diversity of Estonia and the geographical placement that is interesting, that we are kind of the border of East and West.
Certainly.
So I think so far it's, and also the historical background, that we do have some historical connections with Germany, and I think it's easier to come here than to go maybe to the Wild East or somewhere. So it's still kind of good balance here.
I feel fine here, I must admit. What you've just been saying encourages us to go on with our mission. Thank you very much so far. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Liebe Schülerinnen und Schüler, Als Ihre Abteilungsleiterin des Bildungsganges der gestaltungstechnischen Assistentinnen und Assistenten kann auch ich Ihnen das Auslandspraktikum in Estland nur wärmstens empfehlen. Bewerben Sie sich um diese innovative Möglichkeit im Rahmen des Erasmus-Plus-Programms der Europäischen Union. Die Zeit in Estland wird für Sie mit Sicherheit eine sehr interessante berufliche und persönliche Erfahrung sein und macht sich darüber hinaus im Lebenslauf sehr gut.
Thank you. Welcome to Estonia.
Tere tulemast!